You're probably wondering where
Not
Denz
really.
and Cash are.
I'm right here.
Denz is
I'm right here.
here.
I'm right here.
And this bucket. See, you're probably thinking this isn't Cash, but this is the homie Adrian, aka Stevie Wonder.
I like him more than Brandon.
Wow.
Man.
Say what up to the people.
What's up, camera? This is my.
This guy's a very talented dude. He plays piano. Sometimes plays it blindfolded.
He's
So
gonna play at Brandon's wedding.
if there ever
What
is
song
one.
you want, Brandon? Any song. Free of charge. Who cares?
There you go. That's what's up.
Wow.
So, Hot Seat, take it away.
See, take it away,
You're the one who had the idea.
You're the one wearing that bloody tuxedo, so take it away.
Can you just give him the?
Anyway, shut up. So, I was inspired because Brandon was rambling on, and I realized in his rambling on there was a hint of a gem of an idea there. All the men who are watching this video can relate. So you know when you're outside in public, let's say mall scenario with your mandem, or if you don't refer to them as mandem, your friends, and you see an attractive female, right? And something compels you to talk to her. She's just that fine, where it's just like you have to say something, so you can't let her go by in your life. That's an instant regret. That or you get peer pressure into it by your friends, and they call you like a punk if you don't do it. So
I've heard that line.
you go and you go and talk to her, like
What he
what
said.
you said. So I said I'd like to talk about it, get an idea of what people's experiences have been with what their their issues about it are, so forth and so forth.
Right.
And since we have a new perspective, we figured why not?
The Stevie Wonder. Have you done this before?
Have I approached a female in public?
Yeah.
I'm a
Just out
shy
of-
guy. I don't really approach females in public. They don't really like me. I'm not the goddamn sugar that y'all paint me to be. So I don't really do
If
it.
y'all see those comments, you know that is a complete lie.
That's not a lie. I don't know what comments you're referring to, but if you want to talk comments, we can go find comments on this guy. We can talk about that.
So Stevie Wonder, have you approached a female in public?
Yes, I have.
And how did you go about it? And what were your results? How about you give us the negative first?
first, then we go positive.
Yeah.
Negative first. Whew, there's a whole bunch of negatives. Okay, so
And are you putting yourself down? Okay.
yeah, so starting off in high school, had my two boys. Shout out to Tonio and Michael. If you ever see this video,
Tonio and Michael.
yeah, those were my boys in high school. So
We're his boys now. You've been replaced.
So back in the high school days, you're like, okay, all the honeys are at the mall, right?
That's where all the biddies go still.
So you go to the mall.
Especially during high school times.
You go to the mall, and there's a whole bunch of girls, right? So there's always the pressure of, okay, which one do I go up to? There's a lot of different choices.
Right.
So what I looked at was, okay, which one looks the most interesting? Which one do you think you can get to actually to roll with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they'll actually like you. Might talk to you. Phone number is not that's whatever. It's not that hard to get a girl's phone number. So my goal was after the phone number, guarantee that they'll start talking to you. So anyways, there was this one girl, went up to her. I'm like,
One sexy lady.
no. It was,
You my girls now.
back in high school, you're not that experienced. Like, hey, you taking? Like that was literally my hope.
Wow.
Like, hey, you taking, girl?
And the funny thing is, some men still use that line till today. They're like
They
in their
still use that
20s
line?
and they're like, you got it, man.
Let me tell you from now, that is the worst line to open with. Do not open with that line. Are you taking? So anyways, I'm like, hey, are you taking? And she looks at me and then she looks behind her. And she's like, yeah, I'm taking, sorry.
She lied to you still.
what she did is she looked at her friends.
She turned around. She's like, "Yeah, I'm taken." So I was like,
That's women language
Well,
for should I tell them the
What
truth?
happened was
or-
in that brief moment, she turned around and she was like, "Yes or no?" And you're like, "No."
"Yeah."
And then she turned around, "Yeah, my man's still. I'm sorry."
So what had happened was she may very well not have had a boyfriend or maybe taken, but she got confirmation from her friend
Yeah.
to see if she
You should
verified.
have called her on it. What's your boyfriend's name?
She would have looked at her friend again.
And then her friend would be like, Emmanuel.
Wow. So what about positive one? Like, what are positive?
What's the success stories you got for approaching females in public?
Let me see. There was this one time we're coming back from a movie at Yorkdale,
True.
and I don't think it was with you guys. No, I was with my bro at the time.
Oh, that figures.
And,
He's with his bro.
and,
I'm more important than him.
If y'all don't know, this guy's bro is like a playboy. I don't know if they'll come back to haunt me, but from what I've seen, he's a playboy. Continue the story.
Wow.
Anyways, he probably was like, "Yo, her face is not perfect, but her body's on point. So go approach that."
That's what we like to call fruit gushers. Because some are like squished, you know?
And they don't look good on the
But
outside,
the
but
inside is still blessed. That's a fruit gusher right there. I coined that term. Don't try to take that. That's copyrighted.
she a fruit gusher.
You're a fruit gusher still.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't think I'll stand a chance. Like, she looks like someone who her body's like a 9 out of 10. Face was maybe like a 7. But I was like,
So she's all around 8. Okay.
yeah, so she's about an 8. But I was like, okay, we end up on the same bus, and she sat at the back of the bus. So I went to sit at the back of the bus. I sat
You
like,
called her on the
Denz.
bus? Jeez. You got confidence to hold her on the bus.
it was maybe like 2 seats to her right. And then she was just sitting there kind of on her phone, but every now and then she like looked up. And you know, she actually like looked at me a few times, so I'm like, okay.
Bad
Giving
dreams.
the signals,
Seen a little
dude.
something.
Now it's in there.
His radar was like, oh, I catch what you're throwing out. Okay, all right, okay.
Radar. So I was like, okay. So I actually got up out of my seat. I went and sat right beside her.
Yeah, eh?
And I was like, hey, so you go to York, right? Because we're taking the bus from America. Like, hey, you go to York. She's like, no, I don't, but I come here every now and then to go to the gym. So I was like,
True.
I'm like, I can see that you have a quite nice body, if I may say so.
The man had to slip in the 1-2 compliment.
Okay.
You gotta add a compliment.
All right.
And then I'm like, oh, sorry. By the way, my name is Adrian.
You give her that firm, firm but gentle.
You gotta-
You give her, I can protect you,
gotta-
but you know I'll put it down on you at the same time. Woo!
You gotta initiate with the handshake, man. You gotta get the touch in there.
All right.
You gotta told her my name after her name.
Did you go with your government or did you go with the alias? Did you like, my name is Stevie Wonder?
My government.
You should have gave her the Stevie Wonder. I go by the name of Stevie Wonder, and she would have been even more interested. Be like, oh,
You'd be like,
how you
Stevie
get
Wonder.
that? And you'd be like, well, I play the piano blindfolded.
And then you could have segued it to, if I can play the piano blindfold, think what I can do to you blindfolded.
What the
Bah, bah, bah.
That's it. Imagine with the you're a
Magic
clown,
fingers.
dog. You're a clown.
All right, Adrian. Okay.
No, they said no. I'm not even go there. Anyways, yeah. So at the end of the day, I got her phone number. We ended up talking
For like a week.
For like 2 weeks actually. Eventually met up and had a few conversations. Went on a date, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna go past it.
Because it goes past the PG-13.
Yeah, I don't know your guys' your
Rating.
Yeah, your rating. So
I don't know, we're pretty R-rated, but I don't know if Brad is ready for that. He has a very interesting mindset of Adrian. He like has Adrian like up here in a very high innocent section. I don't know if you're ready to realize that Adrian just like us. I don't know if you're ready for that lifestyle.
I'll save you that, bro.
So that means where are you? What about you? When you in the public with the man dems or by yourselves, or you know what we'll do with man dem because it's a different, it's completely different when you're by yourself. So with the man dem, when you see a girl, let's say where we go out and I'm like, Brandon, we'll talk to that thing. You know, what's happened, what's transpired.
Well, let me think of you want the negative first or
sure, you hit me with that negative
Alright.
first. Alright.
So I think I was about 17.
So we lad of 17.
I think I was 17 at the time. So I'm just out of high school.
Right.
And I think who was I with? Don't matter who I was with, but
Because you're the man, so no matter who you with, because you can be great.
we were downtown at the Eaton Center, and there was
where all the babies are.
yeah, and there was this one female. She was shopping around. Like I seen her a couple of times because we were just roaming around, and I may or may not have passed the same place twice to see if she was still there.
I said, yo, I'm gonna go by the Nike store quick one more time. We just went by there. I know that, but like, fam, I just gotta tie my shoe there one time. Oh, she's there.
And so, when I approached her,
Right.
I tried to converse with her. Mind you, my game was pretty
Trash.
It was pretty trash.
It's understandable.
Okay.
So like
Mine's still
I was
trash.
just like, oh, so what you up to? Obviously she's shopping, but
But you had to hit her with the, the ignorance.
yeah. And then after I was like, oh, so like, can I get your number?
Can I get your number? Can I get your number? Can I have it?
It was one of those, can I have it? And she's like, oh no, my phone's down right now. And then
So did you bounce back with, okay, can you take my number and call me when your number's up?
I didn't hit her with one of those.
Wow.
I took the L from there. And oddly enough, as soon as I left, I heard a doo-doo.
You see, that's why you gotta call them out. Listen. When you're approaching a female approaching a female when she's by herself instead of when they're like approaching. It's like if you're playing a video game. When they're by themselves, they're like mini bosses. But when they're with their friends, it's like one boss with like a bunch of mini henchmen that give them power ups. And you gotta pass certain like points to beat the boss.
Yeah.
So you gotta call them out on their foolishness when they throw tests at you. Cause like when they go, oh yeah, no, sorry,
Phone's down.
my phone's down. So take my number then, and then when your phone's up, give me a call. All of a sudden it's, yeah, but I don't know.
I don't have anything to write it down.
I don't know what's gonna be up, and next thing you know, her phone goes off. I thought your phone was down. See, the way what happened was, and 9 out of 10, it's not that a girl finds you unattractive. It's just she already puts you in the rest of positions of guys who have hauled at her.
See, like, the thing is, like, I would accept a flat out no then over a bunch of excuses. I don't know about you guys. Would you prefer her just be like, nah, I just don't want to give it to you? Be like, give her an honest opinion on why she don't want to give you a number versus excuses as to why she shouldn't give you a number.
I would much rather prefer the honesty, the blunt, just I don't want to talk to you, sorry. But I enjoy the excuses because I'll take the excuses and I go, oh really?
And turn
you
them around.
think I'm gonna stop now? Let's go back and for a bit. That is exactly what happened. I've done it like multiple times. It's great because girls always assume when they give you that first excuse that, oh, okay, well I give you first, you can be gone now. But if you don't shatter from that first like thing, they get blown away. Like they're tripping now.
Exactly, and some of them want the chase.
Yeah,
to
like,
a certain extent.
They're like, all right, if he takes the curve, well, maybe we'll see how it goes from there. And I'll be like, sorry, I have a man. Okay, so what's your man's name? All right, you caught me. I don't have a man. I don't really want to. No, that's fine. That's fine. Because clearly we're already starting off, whatever this is on a great start. You want to talk about an imaginary man. Clearly you're talking about the future in which I fulfilled that role. That's great. That's why I'm there. And then she laughs, she's flustered, she's like, damn, I didn't expect that from him. And then you got her talking. The moment you have her talking, you are way more closer to getting anything you want from the female than before. So I just think if you can like, most people, I know when you're younger it's harder because like a curve is like,
it's like the end of the world,
it's the
man.
end of the world.
Like,
oh my, like the moment she says no, you're like, oh my, Why did I do that? I'm ugly.
I was
I'm ugly.
17 at the time, so
I'm
that's
ugly.
exactly how I felt.
You
I was
go home and you're like, I am so beat. I am so ugly. Why did you give me this face?
I literally walked back to my friend with my arm feeling sweaty. I got a little cold sweat off my forehead. I was like, and the man was like, oh, so how'd it go? I was like, you know.
And you weren't gonna lie too, because when we went to marry them, you come back and you get rejected. How'd you go? Yo, it's whatever. She had a man.
I caught closer looking. She had a hairy mole on it.
She wasn't that sweet, bro. It's always the worst because you gotta lie. And the worst parts are the ones that know you lying. The friends that are like, you know you well. So like, nah, she wasn't you lying. She rejected you. You trash. You ain't got no game. And you're like, my heart.
So on the flip side, there was a positive thing. So I was about 19 at the time.
So 2 years for the couple.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's
basically 2 years ago. So I was with Xavier at the time. It was the first day back. It was still orientation at Seneca. Shout out to the Seneca people. You know who you are.
Also, Xavier is our boy. He's a really dope artist. We hope to get him on the channel eventually. But yeah, don't look up for stuff.
Focusing on my face.
Because it loves you. And you really count.
Yeah, so we were leaving and we got on the 196. It was getting ready to take off. I flashed my pass because, you know, I had a pass at the time. And I go to the back and I see this one female there. So I was like, oh, she kind of cute. There's a seat open. I don't see anybody affiliated with her. So I was like, oh, is this seat taken here? She's like, no, sure. So I sat down and then I was like, you know what the hell? So I was like, oh, are you new to York here? And she's like, oh yeah, it's my first day. I was like, oh, what program you doing? She's like, oh, I think it was criminology or something like that.
That's what we call laying the groundwork by Brandon.
And so I said, oh, my name's Brandon and everything. I got into conversation. And then when my stop was approaching, I was like, oh, do you have a number? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. So I gave her my phone and she put it in. And then I was like, oh, cool. It was nice meeting you. Good seeing you. So when I got the bus, I sent her a message. I was just like, it was nice meeting you. Hope you get to your destination safely.
Oh, like a gentle kid.
And so about 10 minutes later, she's light skinned by the way. I get a thanks, it was nice meeting you too. So I was like, she gave me the right number. Plot twist. A week later, I never heard from her ever again.
Well then.
But
she got kidnapped, we don't know.
But
We don't know.
We don't know.
But
We're not sure.
Her last
my takeoff was pretty blessed, but I couldn't sustain flight after that.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, you had your success. That's what's important. That's what's important. And
I bet
Like
you.
I said, it's sometimes not just about the number, it's about getting them to stay.
Yeah.
it's true.
But yeah.
Hey man, I still consider that a positive
There you go.
approaching the female
There you go.
because there wasn't nothing wrong I did in the approach.
Right.
What I did after that, that's a story for another.
So in terms of your now knowledge that you have now compared to how you were when you were 17, what would you tell your 17 or high school self about approaching a female?
Take a deep breath in. She's just like she's a regular human. Just talk to her.
Right.
Sure, she may have breasts
Right.
and a booty and nice hair,
Right.
but she's still a human.
Right. A nice face and a nice
All of that,
waistline and
yeah.
nice clothes and she walks and your body just goes, oh my. But she's still a human. Yeah, you're right.
So-
you're right.
You now, what's your?
To follow suit, if you go and do negatives, negatives that have happened to me. I think one of the worst negatives I got was one where I was I was downtown, not Ian Center downtown, but around that area. It was me and my cousin. We went downtown, came across a group of females. I had a group. We just. At the time, I felt like I was, I wasn't ugly, but I wasn't,
A
take your girl, whatever.
Drake studio girl.
So I was like, okay, whatever. I was all over the place with my confidence. But on that day, I felt pretty confident.
Because you had the fresh Converse on
I
with the
probably
fresh
was wearing Converses that day. I don't
and
know.
the nice jeans.
Maybe. So we were talking over, and I was talking to the one female, and my cousin was doing his job and taking care of the other two females, distracting the conversation. Things were going well. I remember going, see, I always had the mindset that, you know, I'm either going to respond to the foolishness you try to say with pure facts, because I get people very well, or I'm going to respond with more foolishness myself. It was one of the two. And so she goes, oh yeah, I'm in a relationship with a guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. And my number one response to that all the time is, okay, I'm happy for you, what's his name? Because 9 till the 10, they don't have a name. Especially in high school, they don't expect you to respond to that.
Yeah.
So I go, okay, that's very nice. How's his name? And she answered quick. His name's John. I said, oh, okay.
It sounds like, wow, I didn't think I'd make it this far.
She was waiting for it.
I was like, okay, well, cool. And like, she was one of those like people who like, she was the female version of me. She was prepared for everything. She was prepared for everything. Like I'm bringing like my best game now. She's like, no, I got you, curve, curve.
Sure, kids have curves.
Like I got like half a giggle out of her. Like I got a smirk with sound behind it. That's the best I got. And eventually I'm like, okay. Well, I wish you all the best of that. Cool. But it was funny, I knew it was like actually trash that because my cousin got one of the girls that was friends with her and she told my cousin that everything the girl had told me was a lie. Which means she just went out of her way to curve me to make sure, and I was like, wow, I must be like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. Because I am hurt. I was so sad that day. I was so sad. I felt terrible.
I would feel like
because she was hitting me with like all the facts, like right
it's
on
like
top,
she
like
boom.
So
She rehearsed it on top of that.
So I'm like, okay, you can't be lying. You got a man. I respect it. I'm gonna let it go. Nope. She just wanted nothing to do with me, and I said, well, okay, alrighty.
I feel for you, man.
It hurt, but it you know allowed me to become who I am today. So you know.
We're not gonna get into that.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
So,
what else? A success, a positive. A success, if we're going to talk about the evolution of Denzel, is probably the day I got 3 numbers from a group of females at the same time.
Damn.
The same group.
It was the same. It was a group of 3 females.
My max was 2, man.
And so that was cool. That went very well because what happened was, once again, downtown, this time in the Eaton Center at the food court. And the benefit of being tall is that every single day of my life,
You're so tall.
At least once I get that. At least once.
Do you play basketball?
Every day. At least once. At least once. It's kind of annoying because I know what you're gonna say, and it's just okay. Shut up. I get it. I've heard it for 24 years. It's nothing new. But no, it helps because it's a great icebreaker. I don't have to do anything. So the 3 of them see me, and they're walking by, and I heard 2 of them whisper, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so tall. So I was just gonna keep walking. I thought, okay, cool. They're all cute. Whatever. I'm just keep walking. But then one of them, I guess, was like the bold leader of the group, and she goes, oh my gosh, how tall are you? Like she stopped me, she's like, how tall are you? And I'm like, at the time I was like 6'7". And I'm like, I'm 6'7". And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're 6'7". Oh my god, do you play basketball? And I was like, I play for fun. I'm more of a volleyball player. And they're like, oh, okay, well that's still a good use of the height. And then we kind of went talking from there, and they're like, okay, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I plan on becoming a lawyer, And all of a sudden they heard lawyer, like, lawyer, really? Oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, well.
I might have to start using that line.
And I'm like, well, I'm actually becoming a lawyer, Brandon. There's a line I use for females.
Well, I might have to use that line.
So then we were all talking, and I'm like, okay, guess you're all really attractive. You know, it's nice to meet you guys. What are you guys doing? I ended up going around with them around Eaton Center while they shopped, and we talked, and then eventually I got all 3 of the numbers. And that was cool. That led to some stuff.
Led to more self-confidence.
Sure, that's what it led to. Self-confidence.
You gotta keep it right. Anyways.
Yeah, PG-13.
Wow.
Self-confidence.
Read in between the lines.
Don't read between no lines. Okay? Self-confidence is what I got. I felt great in more ways than one. That's what happened with that.
So, y'all heard it from the three of us, our different experiences. It just seems like all these women just feel the need to like either lie or just, there's never a very truthful woman when it comes to curving a man in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand. Like, would it hurt just to tell the truth that you just don't want to talk to us?
Now, to be fair, to flip the argument, if you're a female and you get approached by a guy, let's say every day you get approached by like 10 different guys. Let's say you're like an 8 out of 10, you get approached by 10 different guys, and the 10 different guys, out of 10 of them, 9 of them give you the exact same approach every single time. Hey Ma, you're sweet, what are you saying? Eventually, if you see another guy approach you, you're gonna expect a certain response. You just wanna shut it down and move on with the rest of your life. Like, you don't expect nothing great, which is why I said earlier, you gotta kinda like see what they're saying and then respond appropriately, push past, you know, a couple of the curves and see if they're actually curving you or if they're just trying to see if you're worth the investment to talk to. Because you gotta remember, guys can be pretty much dicks. I've seen guys who approach girls and curved and then like say, oh, you're ugly. Especially in Toronto on the buses, it's like notorious. Like I'll see like, especially hood guys go up to a girl like, yo, you're sweet, what are you saying? And then she'll be like, I'm not interested, sorry. It's not even, she's not always even disrespectful. She's like, I'm just not interested. He goes, well, whatever, F you then. I'm gonna cry.
And then all the men slander, yo, you're a trash.
Why are you even beaking for, fam? Like, I was even trying to hold that.
You like bro?
So like,
are you dumb?
That kind of stuff sits in a girl's head and she's like, okay, well, I really don't understand. So next time a guy comes to her who even looks similar to the other guy, she's like, no, sorry, shut it down. Just go that, don't even, just leave. Just go. So I mean, you know,
I can understand.
The majority of guys without game make it hard for the people who have game, and I wouldn't even consider it a game. I just think it's conversational skills. If you can, like Brandon said, they're human beings. Yeah, they just want to be talked to like human beings. Like we treat them like sex objects. You know, like you see a dime you're like, oh, I just want to put my tip all the way in your esophagus. Like that's a Brandon quote, by the way. But anyways,
that wasn't me. He's lying.
Go to hell. Anyways, I just think for future reference, people who are watching the video, for myself or whatever, just to remember, any tip I would give my younger self and for myself now is that if I'm going to approach a female, whether to say, yo, you're attractive, whatever, just to go for a very simple mindset, to say, okay, find one purpose behind your reason to approach a female and stick to that. If you're very simple-minded, it goes a lot easier. You don't have to overthink things. You know, if you go, okay, cool, I'm just going over there to say you're attractive, you're beautiful, whatever, you're cute. Cool. You say it. If she wants to continue the conversation, fantastic. If she doesn't, you move on with the rest of your life. You got the rest of your life to meet the one. If she's not the one, she's not the one.
And it depends on the approach too. Like, I mean, depends on the environment too. Like most girls, of course, like they don't want to hear any cat calling like.
Sure.
And a lot of them,
like
a lot of them, like if you're on the bus and they have the headphones in, like I found like the margin of success is even smaller when they're on the bus with the headphones.
Trust
in.
me, I don't like when people approach me when I have my headphones in, so I doubt a girl will like it.
Yeah,
I doubt it. If you see a girl with like the earbuds, then like maybe, because like if you have the earbuds in, maybe you can take them out, whatever. But if she has one of these nutty overhead headphones that are noise canceling,
blocking out the world.
Don't approach her. She don't want to be bothered. She don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
If she wanted to talk to you, 9 out of 10 she would talk to you. Just let it go. That's all it is.
If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have any type of stories that you had in the past about being approached or approaching a female, you can leave it in the comment section below.
Because you guys finally discovered that we have a comment box, so thanks for that. I appreciate it.
And thank you to the main man, Adrian, aka Stevie Wonder.
Magic finger.
You got any musical pieces coming up anytime soon? You gonna write a concerto for us?
I have a CD coming out.
Look at that. You got a CD coming out. Ladies, it's called Touch Your Spine.
all of our information will be right down below, and you can check out last week's video over that way.
Right in my face, just right
Now
here.
we actually separated. Now it's gonna
It's
be
gonna be right here in my face.
to the left
Right
over
here.
here.
Right here.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week
Probably very soon.
or that.
Barrel roll!